right. They're so happy, I'm beginning to wonder, did they hear that Trump announced again? It is a particularly happy crowd today. We're all a little bit giddy. You know what? So let's take a trip down memory lane.
So there was our introductory tease, folks, and what is it about? We once again have the show that we love to talk about, a reaction video to The View. Affectionately what I call the rear view, the Cackling Hens. Why? Because of the verbal diarrhea these beautiful, lovely ladies on the left always like to talk about, and it's always coming out of their little derrieres. But what are we talking about today, folks? It is the fact that Donald Trump lives rent-free in these cackling hens' brains. That's right, folks. These bird brains, these cackling hens, allow Donald Trump to be living there rent-free. Enjoy that smile that you have on your face. Well, what we're going to do is hopefully try to make that smile turn upside down. That's right, folks. That's what we're going to try to do. And Anna, what you were basically saying, and Joy, what you were saying is going down memory lane. That's exactly what we're going to do. And folks, in the next 5.5 or 6 minutes, this is a compilation video of something that's going to make your smile be a mile wide. That's right, folks. It is about all the people that said that Donald Trump couldn't win the presidency. We're talking the comedians. We're talking the late night show hosts. We're talking the cable news network. We're talking the alphabet networks. We're talking ABC, NBC, CBS, MSNBC, CNN, all of them, folks. We're talking academia, the college professors, the university professors, the pollsters. We're talking people on the right, people on the left, people in the middle, right? We're talking rhinos. We're talking Democrats. We're talking, everybody was against the world, right? The world press, the world leaders, everybody was against Donald Trump. And as MAGA stood its ground, Trump stood his ground. He had the last laugh. All right. So what we're going to do is and then after this video is done that we end up showing you, and you guys are going to absolutely love it, we're going to come back and then we're going to ask the rear view ladies a couple of questions that I think everybody that's out in the audience, people like us, would have loved to have asked them, and basically find out from Joy and Anna, why is it that they continue, and Sunny and Alyssa and Sarah and Whoopi, why do you ladies continue to allow Donald Trump to live rent-free? I know there's a rent-freeze in New York, and you guys are allowing him to live rent-free in your henpecked brains forever. So let's go ahead and get to this tape, folks. You're going to love this. I guarantee it. So stick around till the end of the video.
There's not going to be a President Donald Trump. That's not going to happen.
Donald Trump will not become president.
He's not going to be president. Donald Trump is not going to be president of the United States. Take it to the bank. Okay. I guarantee it.
All right.
I think if he becomes the president, he'll make it great, because the states is already great.
I think that man will be president of the United States right about the time that spaceships come down filled with dinosaurs and red capes.
On that note, Tom,
Take it from me. How about that?
Cheers, Tom.
And then, of course, there's Donald Trump. Donald Trump has been saying that he will run for president as a Republican, which is surprising since I just assumed he was running as a joke.
Donald Trump, just last week, he confirmed to the National Review that he is again considering a run in 2016.
Do it. Do it. Look at me. Do it. I will personally write you a campaign check now on behalf of this country, which does not want you to be president, but which badly wants you to run.
So when you stand and deliver that State of the Union address, in no part of your mind or brain can you imagine Donald Trump standing up one day and delivering a State of the Union address?
Well, I can imagine it in a Saturday night skit. I continue to believe Mr. Trump will not be president.
He will never be president of the United States.
And we better be ready for the fact that he might be leading the Republican ticket next. I know you don't believe that, but I want to go on.
Sorry to laugh.
Okay, here we are. And which Republican candidate has the best chance of winning the general election?
Of the declared ones, right now, Donald Trump.
And so, right now, Mr. Trump, to answer your call for political honesty, I just want to say, you're not going to be president, all right? It's been fun. It's been great. I love you. But come on, buddy. All, let's say, cow poo-poo aside, there is zero chance we'll be seeing you being sworn in on the Capitol steps with your hand on a giant golden Bible.
I'll make a prediction, though, for you. And I don't really get into predictions much, but this one I'll go way out on a limb. Donald Trump will never, ever be president of the United States. That Trump should not be in this race. He's an absurdity. He is a travesty.
Donald Trump will never be elected president of the United States.
Donald Trump is the here today, gone tomorrow candidate for president of the United States. Donald Trump is not going to be president of the United States. Ever respectful of the fact that the people have not voted, he's not going to be president of the United States.
Let's be clear. Donald Trump will lose the election.
I mean, he had a really good chance to be different and really have a chance to change things, but he doesn't do the work. He's lazy.
We talk about him every day, and we continuously bash him.
He's not going to be the president. Don't worry about it.
Exactly.
And we're coming to a point where if you're Hillary Clinton, you're honestly probably starting to think about not just whether you will win, but how big your win will be. And then you say that Donald Trump has the best day in the entire world, completely outperforms expectations, and he wins all of the toss-up states. He wins all 5 of those states, plus that electoral college vote in Maine that he's after. If he wins all of the toss-ups, which would be insane because nobody wins all of the toss-up states, even if Donald Trump did win all of the toss-up states, he would still lose.
Be a wake-up call to the Republican Party. Despite Boris thinking that Donald Trump could win New York, like this, the presidential race is over.
Could I just cut through? I have one thing to say, one thing only, and that is that this race is over. Tomorrow morning, the money will dry up. The Republicans will start to hide. Trump has no place to go. This race, effectively, as of tonight, is no longer a presidential race. Everything I know about presidential politics, and I've been through 5 of them, I've never seen one like this. This race is over. You might as well accept it. And the question now is, how do you minimize damage? And the only way you can do that, it seems to me, is to try to grab hold of some old conservative value things and do what Mondale did in '84, which was try to save a few people down ballot. But as far as Donald Trump's concerned, it will never, ever, ever happen.
President Obama will go down as perhaps the worst president in the history of the United States! Exclamation point at real Donald Trump. Well, at real Donald Trump. At least I will go down as a president.
So folks, what'd you think? Wasn't that great? Didn't that put a smile a mile wide on you? And you know what? Remember that smile on Joy? What happened, Joy? I know. You look pretty perplexed. That's right. What happened? You know something else? I happen to remember, Joy, a certain night back in 2016. I believe it was a Tuesday night in November 2016, where you were a little bit, let's just say, lost. Let's go ahead and cut to that video because we're taking a walk down memory lane. That's right.
So, I need a drink at this point because things are not moving exactly how I want them to
closer
move.
than you thought.
Gotta relax. It's a little close. Yeah, I'm getting a little nervous here.
Right now, the Electoral College map shows 129 electoral votes for Trump, 104 for Clinton.
Yeah.
This is still a nail biter in the very delegate-rich states.
Okay. All right.
Nervous.
I'm very nervous. I'm very nervous.
Relax. It's all going to be okay.
Oh,
states to come in.
You think it was going to be this close?
Well, it's just the whole thing
I've
is
been telling Joy that it's going to be close.
But this is how it goes every election. It goes up and down, and some states come in and then they don't. You can't ride that.
I know.
You got to stay
She mentioned,
even.
you know what? Paul is in Florida, Deborah's in Pennsylvania. I'm going to be at the Betty Ford Center after this time. We've got a whole lot more coming your way. When we come back, we're going live to Amy Roback at Trump campaign headquarters.
Well, it sure does look like Joy has recovered somewhat from that episode back in November of 2016. And looks like she's all smiles once again. But we're going to continue on, and we're going to ask and go ahead and give our reaction to what Joy and Anna have to talk about. Continuing what we said, Donald Trump continues to live rent-free in the Cackling Hens, bird brain, tiny little minds. Let's continue and see what Joy has to say.
Joy's on fire today.
I have to tell you, part of me wants to be with you laughing, but part of me, I've seen this movie before.
Yeah.
And so, you know, Rupert Murdoch doesn't matter, GOP don't.
That's right. And you've seen this movie before. We've seen this movie before. That's probably one of the most brilliant things you've ever come up with so far. Exactly. All right. This, folks, is Ana Navarro, a rhino, a Republican in name only. I mean, let's continue and see what she has to say.
Donors don't matter, elected officials don't matter. What matters and what's going to make the decisions are Republican-based voters who voted.
Bingo, you hit it right on the mind. That's right. We're not going to listen to you. We're not going to listen to McConnell. We're not going to listen to McCarthy. We're not going to listen to the establishment. We're not going to listen to the elitists of both parties. This is about the people. This is about country class, not country club class, which is you elites at the top when you make those rules. And what are the rules that we talk about? The rules for thee, but not for we, right? That's what they continue to do. And that's what these guys continue to push, folks. They want it, basically, they don't want it developed at the at the level of the people. They want these decisions to be made at the level of the party. And the party is determined by the people. And the leader of that party right now, the Republican Party, the conservative movement, the Trumpian movement, is still Donald Trump. Let's continue.
For Trump before. So I'll tell you this, I made the mistake, and many other Republicans made the mistake in 2016 of not taking Trump seriously. I'm not making that mistake twice. I gotta tell you all, don't get numb to it. Don't laugh about it. Don't get tired of it. We beat him once, we can beat him twice if we have to.
The reason that you won was because of the way that you ended up changing the way that the voting tabulation, the mail-in ballots, the absentee ballots, all of those things, everything was changed for the 2020 election. So call it what you want, but you ended up changing the rules in the middle of the game, and that's exactly what happened. So anyways, let's continue.
Because he belongs in the big house, not the White House. And
Ooh, that was a zinger right there. He belongs in the big house, not the White House. Okay, that's all these guys do. They tried to put him in jail for 4 years. They ended up impeaching him twice. And listen, folks, impeachment doesn't mean jack crap unless you go to the Senate and you're judged and you get thrown out of office. Bill Clinton was impeached. So what? Nobody cares. If you ask the average person on the street and say, did you know that impeach? You know what they're going to say if you ask somebody on the street that has no idea about politics? You know, when you ask about, has the president ever been impeached? They're going to say, what, did he go down to Georgia and have a peach? Is that what you're talking about? I mean, nobody gives a rip, folks. Nobody gives a rip, except the Cackling Hens on The View.
No circumstance can Americans get exhausted and not fight hard as hell. So this guy is nowhere near the.
Oh, we're nowhere near exhausted, Anna, and we're gonna fight harder than as hard as hell this time. That's what we're gonna do. We're not exhausted. We're refreshed. We're invigorated. We've got the power on our side. We've got the people on our side. We've got the intensity on our side. And that's how we're going to win this, folks. We're going to coalesce around MAGA, and we're going to ride that wave once more as we did in 2016. So, Anna, you can continue, but guess what? Right up here, honey, you've got Trump derangement syndrome, and you've got Trump on the brain.
Presidency ever.
There's Gloria.
Shall we chat about the Big House? Let's chat about it.
Now let's listen to Assumption, because that's her sonny's not her real name. Her real name's Assumption. And she never tells us about her ethnic background. She always hides it, trying to claim that she's a woman of color. Well, she may be a woman of color, but she's not a black woman of color, all right? But anyways, this is Assumption Sonny Hostin, who really is another one of an extreme race hustler and race pimp, a la Joy Reid. And they need to have somebody on that side to continue the race baiting, the race hating, all of this stuff, the bigotry, the racism that has to come from some side of the aisle. So this is the one cackling hen, Assumption Hostin, who basically is going to be talking about Donald Trump in her brain again, and how she hopes that this time he's going to be brought down. Let's listen to what she has to say.
Because I really think that's what this is all about, right? Any private citizen can be indicted for a crime. You do not have the protection of the presidency. He's got 2 years to run. And my information...
Meaning 2 years where he is not a president.
Where he's not a president, to run a campaign.
Right.
I've spoken to my former colleagues, some of them at the Justice Department, and of course they can't say...
Here she, and some of them can't say, right, here she goes, going to start talking about her former colleagues at the Justice Department. And again, these are the lies, the propaganda, the narrative that they want to put out there, the spin. Remember, they did the same thing with Ukraine. They did the same thing with Russia. It was all about the collusion, of the illusion, of the delusion. It was all of those things. And now she's just going to bring up stuff that she's just going to make up and say that, oh, there's a possibility of maybe, him going to jail. I mean, this is exactly the road that I can read their minds, folks. I can read their henpecked brain, tiny little henpecked brain minds. We can all do that. Let's see what Assumption has to continue to say.
Much, but the word out in the streets is that he's got about 30 to 90 days.
There it is. The word out is on the street, 30 to 90 days. They've been telling us this, that the word out on the street since 2016, right? Since January 20th of 2017, when he gave the address, and he swore on the Bible, and he became president of the United States. Number 45. He's alive. He's still alive. Number 45. Anyways, they were saying this from the time he started his inauguration speech, that he was getting ready to go to jail. These guys are unbelievable. And with the tenacity and the veracity that these people continue to, go after President Trump and anybody associated with him, we've got to match that in terms of, support and getting our people out to vote, getting the information that's out there, and just doing everything that we can in our power as MAGA to make sure that we can basically outvote, outspend, outpolicy, outperform, outproduce, and outvote the Democrats so that we can establish President Trump in 2024. Let's continue and see what else Assumption has to say.
Until some sort of indictment is put out there, right? That's the word on the street. I could be wrong, but that's what
I could be wrong. Just like I've been wrong my entire life. I could be wrong. But that's just the stuff that's out on the street. All right? I mean, this is just absolutely unbelievable, folks. But this is the cackling that we have to hear, the verbal diarrhea that is coming out of the derrieres of these cackling hens each and every single freaking day. But that's what makes such great fodder for us, because we have something to talk about. We have something to laugh about. We have something to basically, bring out and basically say, look at these people, look at these characters out there, look at the narrative that they're trying to spin. How are they trying to do every single day? Whatever they can do, we've got to do it one better. And as I've always said before, folks, in politics, defense doesn't win. It might win in sports, but not in the sporting arena of politics. The only thing that wins in politics is you've got to go on the offense. Offense, offense, offense. And if that's not enough, bring on even more offense and more offense and more offense. You've got to continue to have the pedal to the metal, because the only way that you're going to thwart the narrative that the Democrats, the DNC, the alphabet networks, the cable news outlets, the newspaper outlets, all the punditry that's out there, the only way that we have effective to blunt that attack is to basically go on the offense. And every time that they come after us, we've got to basically put up our, offensively go and basically say, what you're saying is completely wrong, it's completely false, it's a bunch of lies, it's an illusion, you're in collusion, it's just a big delusion. And that's the way that you win these elections, folks. Offense, offense, offense. Anyways, we hope you enjoyed that video that we put out there for you. If you haven't done so already, we certainly hope that you subscribe and hit that notification bell for more videos. And I'll leave you with my final thought, as I always do, because you've been watching the Dr. Nasser Sheikh Show, and I was guest host today. My name is Dr. Sheikh, and as I've always said, when you're right, you're right, and when you're left, you're wrong. We'll see you again next time, folks. Take care and stay safe.